everyone, it's Bells. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are doing part one of a two-part double feature for end of the year lovely content. I'm going to be tier listing all of the 4.5 to 5-star books I read this year. Last year I did a tier list video where I tier listed literally every single book I read, and it was fun, but it was kind of a lot. So I think this is going to be a little bit better, a little bit like, here's what I really loved this year. So let me just get this all set up. My 4 categories that I have here are the all-time favorite, I won't shut up about. This is a book that like literally you've probably heard me talk about way too much. Like I loved it so much, I want to consume it in every possible format. Second one is absolutely fabulous. This is a book that is just so good. It's just so good. I just loved it. Yeah, it was just fabulous. Objectively perfect is for like books that aren't necessarily like absolute favorites, but that I could not give less than 5 stars. And then the 4th category is I think I'm too picky. These are books that there might be like a single thing that maybe didn't give the whole 5 stars that make it like not quite a favorite, but they are so good that I know it's just me being ridiculous. You know? Those are the 4 categories we're working with. I think it'll be fun. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do, and let's bring on the books. What was that snapping? Okay, so the first book we've got on here is The Price of Salt by Patricia Highsmith, which I read for class and it was just so good. God, it was just fabulous. And obviously it is absolutely fabulous. I want to add, all of these books are like favorite books. This is a very arbitrary rating system. I'm not thinking very much about it. It's just how I feel like right now. Siren Queen by Nevo. This was so good. She's in old time Hollywood, but it's also about fairies and is full of fairy lore. Oh my God, it was fabulous. I think I'm too picky for this one because it took me like a little bit to get into it. The world building is like really extensive and it does not help you out at all. The Deep, this is just objectively perfect, by River Solomon. I can't recommend this book highly enough. Coraline, oh my God, I love Coraline. That goes into absolutely fabulous. I'm obsessed with the movie. I watch the movie like at least twice a year for like the last, I don't know, 10 years plus. I finally read the book this year and it was so cute. Okay, The Beautiful Ones by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This was one of the best romances I've ever read. Really fun, a little bit of magic thrown in there, just gorgeous. I think I'm too picky on this one, or is this absolutely fabulous?
1 week later.
I think I'm too picky, but I don't really know why. Being Lolita, I think this is by Allison Ward. This book is great. It was really upsetting and really sad. Really well done though. I think I'll put that in objectively perfect because it's about grooming Lolita, right? Like it's about a child being groomed by her teacher. So yeah, I can't get an all-time favorite because like, I just can't. Oh my God, Trust Exercise by Susan Choi. Okay. This is probably one of the most well-written books I have read this year, maybe ever. This was so well done and so sharp. I think this goes under objectively perfect because it also made me incredibly uncomfortable, but I just loved it. Oh, it was so good. Okay, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Also, I think this one might go into absolutely fabulous, actually. I really hope that she continues writing because I loved the way that she talked about the things that she went through. Her literary voice was just really beautiful and easy to listen to. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is just like the go-to cozy fantasy that everyone's been talking about. It was adorable. It was absolutely fabulous. I loved it. It's just great. Disfigured. This is an awesome nonfiction that I highly recommend about disabled representation in fairy tales. This is definitely an all-time favorite that I won't shut up about. Missing from the Village by Justin Ling. Again, this was another nonfiction about a serial killer in the Toronto area who was killing off a bunch of gay men. I really liked the way that it focused on the victims and not on the serial killer. That's objectively perfect for sure. Okay, The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This is the 3rd book in her Kiss Quotient trilogy, and it was just exactly what I was looking for. I think that goes into absolutely fabulous. It was just very cute. Assassin's Apprentice. So this is going to be figuring the entire Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, which obviously is an all-time favorite that I won't shut up about. I fucking love these books. I love them so much. I love them with every little bone in my body. You know I love these books. Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine and Valente. This like blew my mind. I'm also obnoxious about this book. I think this book is just so good. And that's going into an all-time favorite I won't shut up about. All the Murmuring Bones by A.G. Slatter. I literally just read this. This is a fairy tale gothic, and I just think it was so good. I was so good in every way, and I loved it. I know I gave it 4.5 stars, 4.75 stars maybe, because it's got like a little gender essentialism in there that really like pulled me right out of the story. Because of the rating I should put it in, I think I'm too picky, but I really liked it. I think it goes at like the top of absolutely fabulous. Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I loved this book too. It took a long time for me to get into it. I think it's gonna go in I Think I'm Too Picky next to her other book. The first half was super slow, but then it picks up so much that it's like so worth it. That was definitely one where if you're having a hard time like getting into it, I really recommend just like sticking with it. And the vampire lore, some of the best vampire lore I have ever experienced. It was so good. A Psalm for the Wild Build. I think I've recommended this book to like every single person I've talked to about books in the last 2 months. This is just like the most beautiful story. It's just beautiful. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's an all-time favorite. Howl's Moving Castle is, I think it's objectively perfect. I think this book is so cute. Okay, maybe I'll put it in absolutely fabulous, because it's not like it's a middle grade book, but it's like weirdly quite dark and very fun and so cute. And I loved Sophie. I just, the little dark twisty wizardy munchkins. Next we have The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Mistborn trilogy, which this will just represent the whole Mistborn trilogy, which I really, really like. I think that's gonna go in absolutely fabulous as well. My partner is currently reading those books because I'm annoying. And like, it's kind of hard to really get into the swing of the story, but I really feel like the payoff is absolutely worth it. What is it called? The Sanderlanche is the name for Brandon Sanderson's endings. I don't know. Fandoms are weird. The Sanderlanche, the avalanche of all the things that you've been reading about and how that all comes together, were really, really, really worth it on that one. You can literally watch me cry over it on camera in a different video, which I'll link somewhere. Near the Bone by Christina Henry was really dark and sad and just good. It was just good, and I think that goes into objectively perfect. It was quick paced. I loved the cryptid. I loved the fact that I was more scared of human monster than actual monster. All around, I think it was just like a tight horror. The Ballerinas, I think this was also absolutely fabulous. Men Who Hate Women by Laura Bates. This is, if you read any nonfiction book, I mean, if you read any you should read Disfigured, but you should also read this one. This is also an objective. Okay. This is gonna go at the very top of I Think I'm Too Picky, because I didn't like how it was organized. It was organized in like a single chapter for each community, and so the chapters were like so long, and I wish that she had done like parts and then broken it up into different chapters focused on like what she was focusing on at the time. It would have made it just a little bit more digestible. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Oh my god, I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. This is a favorite book. Very like atmospheric, so magical, so like about stories and books and why they're important, and it's so freaking cute. It Will Just Be Us by Joe Kaplan. Also an all-time favorite that I won't shut up about. God, this is like the best horror I have read. I have a whole vlog where I like really go into why I like it, which I will link up here. It is so fantastic. I could talk about this book for ages. The Witching Hour. Anne Rice's The Witching Hour. Oh my god. This is an objectively perfect book. I should put this in I Think I'm Too Picky, because I think I gave it 4.75 for it just having like so much world building. Like so much. But I do think it's an objectively perfect book. Snowglass Apples by Neil Gaiman. This is a graphic novel retelling of Snow White, where she's a vampire from the point of view of the queen. It's so good. Oh my god, if you haven't read it, go get it from your library. And the artwork is literally the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Like, Neil Gaiman's writing is like, it's good, it's Neil Gaiman, but the artwork is like truly the most stunning thing. I'll make sure to put a little bit on the screen. That probably goes into Honestly, that's probably an all-time favorite. I don't know, if I have to think about it, it's probably absolutely fabulous. Yeah, that feels right. Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I really liked this going into it. I read the second one and it didn't quite hit me in the same way. It's a very complicated book and it's written in the style that's very difficult to wrap your head around. At least it was for me. I totally did not mind it in Gideon the Ninth, but I did mind it a lot in Harrow the Ninth. So I think I'm gonna put Gideon in I Think I'm Too Picky. I do think that reading Harrow made me think about the way it's written a little bit more, and it's definitely not that accessible to people. So yeah. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is an objectively perfect book. Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. I really, really, really like this book. This is like a sneaky one for me. It's such a unique like sci-fi fantasy, and I love how unique the main character is and how grounded he is. Like I just really like it. I just really do. I think it's gonna go into absolutely fabulous. I don't know. Yeah. Sure. Yes. Okay. The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. You all know I love this book so much. I think that goes at the end of an all-time favorite I won't shut up about. Like, it's so good. I'm so excited for the next one. Okay, Disorientation by Elaine Seichu. This is probably my favorite book of the year. I feel like I don't talk about it enough, and yet I also feel like it's the only book I talk about. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's just such a sharp book. People are sleeping on this book. I think this book is so fantastic. Go read it. Last two. Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. I honestly think this is objectively perfect. I read this at like the exact right time to read it, I think. I devoured it in like 4 days and I don't know how I did that because it's so long. And All's Well by Mona Awad. This is my 100th book of the year. I read exactly 100 books this year. And yes, that does satisfy my perfectionism. It's a satire on women's like chronic pain and how women's pain is like devalued. It's pretty dark, like check the triggers on it, but I liked it a lot. I think this is objectively perfect. I don't think I would change anything about it. There you go. That is my tier list of all of the best books that I read this year, all of them on a screen for you to look at, for you to check out. Go and check out my other video in this double feature. I know I haven't been on YouTube for the last 2 months because school honestly just like kicked my ass this first semester. I haven't been in school for like 7 years. So it kind of just like punched me in the face. But I'm back. I have some beautiful plans for a little more end of the year content and how to keep it up throughout the next semester. So I think you should expect a lot more videos, which is very exciting. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Go check out my double feature of the top 10 most memorable books I read in 2022. And I hope you all had a very happy holidays, a great end of the year, and I will see you very soon. Bye!